again. Sorry, I lost the thread.
Well, when we were talking about fame and money, I say it's good to have your needs covered and to be appreciated by other people and feel like you matter and that you fit in. But I wouldn't trade my morals or my soul or my values to like be like a cutthroat sort of way to get what I want. I would rather do it the right way, if you know what I mean.
Yes, exactly. So there are some quotes from the Mahabharata, for example, who says that a wise man he can lose his judgment even if he gets too acquainted with fame and money and women like that. Or gets too into power and position, or he can actually lose even if there was a good intention in the beginning. So in the same way in the spiritual life, one can actually completely lose one's sight.
Yeah, that's what happens in Star Wars with Anakin Skywalker, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So what happened with him?
Well, he just wanted to make a safe world that people could grow up without feeling fear.
Exactly, yeah.
But it didn't turn out the way he had hoped.
Right. So he actually he ended up becoming kind of greedy, right? Or he kind of wanted to have how was it again? He kind of got tricked also a little bit, wasn't it? He got into the dark side because he wanted power.
He didn't see the manipulation of Palpatine before it was too late, and he had lost the most important parts of himself. So he thought that it was too late to turn back when he had lost parts of his body in the fight on Mustafar.
Yes, exactly. So how can we see this as a picture of the spiritual life in general? His struggle, you can say.
I mean, everybody has ups and downs in their life, and I'm sort of bad at holding dialogues.
No, you're not bad at all.
Could you try and continue that thought?
Yeah.
Like everybody has ups and downs, and
yeah, they have ups and downs, and then comes the blow from material nature itself, because material nature itself is creating trouble and challenges. So in that way, one can be swayed. This word swayed. One can become swayed by the material energy. Yeah. So in that way, even though there were good intentions, if one is not, keeping good company, for example. Actually, it said that bad company is the first step that brings one, down to destruction. Even a good man, if he gets into bad company, he will become bad eventually. So that's what happened to him, Anakin, he got into the bad company, isn't it?
Well, he thought that he was talking to a respectable elder while he was being actually manipulated because Palpatine portrayed himself as being the understanding friend who he could turn to for help when the Jedi would not help him.
Exactly. So the question is, you can say the overall question for all this is, what destroys even a good man? What is it? And I would say, bad company is the first thing. Bad association. Yeah. It's the start. Yeah. So that's why that's why Vedas are recommending that asat sanga tyaga.
What does that mean?
it means that one has to give up the bad company. Asat Sangha, no, Asat means bad company, renounce or give up. Yeah. So for example, if you have, let's take a kind of cliche. Say sometimes you can go in the city. If you go into the wrong places in the city, there will be some drug dealers, right? And they will ask you, to if you want to have some, right? So then one has to give up. One may, if you stay there a little bit too long, one can get into trouble, right? So
I feel often you are protected from other people's bad influence if you dare to speak up about your own values and opinions. But if you're quiet in their company and just like sort of go with the flow, then you're more susceptible to do things that you don't really want to do.
Yeah, so I wrote another answer. What destroys in a good man? Not daring to speak up against evil. Yeah. That evil is, and then one doesn't dare to do it. There is a Norwegian expression, hvis man tier, samtykker man. Yeah, if you are silent, that means you agree, right? So, I mean, okay, well, but anyway, so say for example, actually from Mahabharata we have the story. Mahabharata is exemplifying this.
I don't completely agree with that statement, though.
No, I don't also.
Where it's coming from.
Yeah, but anyway, we have them Mahabharata exemplifying this in the story of Dronacharya, because he was entering the bad company, bad company of Duryodhana.
Yes.
Although he was good, he entered the company of the demon. And then when Draupadi was disrobed,
yes.
he didn't voice a protest. He didn't speak up. Although he would have otherwise,
When he decided to go to war.
Yeah, I mean this was before the war, because there was the gambling match, and Draupadi was the wife of the Pandavas. You see, Duryodhana was training up the Pandavas. He was Dronacharya was training up the Pandavas.
Yes.
So you see what Drona, he explained that he felt obliged to Duryodhana because he had gotten wealth from him, because he had gotten a lot of economic support for a long time.
Yeah.
He had accepted, so in that way he wasn't able to speak up. This kind of feeling, if you receive, it said that money is corrupting. Yeah.
Was he in the hard financial situation at that
time?
Well,
he was poor, actually, yes, because he was a Brahmana, so Brahmanas are usually poor. So he accepted charity from, he accepted to be taken care of, actually, by Duryodhana, to get food from, to get, So in that way, he became a part of his crew, so to speak. So then when Duryodhana did wrong things, then Dronacharya, he kind of became, incapable of speaking up, because you can say his consciousness was kind of swayed. Yeah. So this is what can happen.
I can sort of sympathize with his decision if he tried to, for example, ask Krishna for to have his needs covered first, and then he didn't receive what he needed. Then maybe he would want to align himself with whoever could deliver his daily bread.
Yeah, that's the point. So you see, but there are many stories. This is just one story from Mahabharata, but all over the world there are similar stories. that this is where, you know, you can say the devil can enter, you know, when a person who is good but seems to be in need, you know, and then the devil, you can say, is giving, you know, economic support and like that, and then, you know, it kind of cripples the individual's consciousness. so
I've had
yeah,
a similar,
yeah,
like, a sort of felt like spirits have given me the insight to often see when other people are having a bad day or they are having trouble, and you know, you get a choice whether to help someone or to exploit them. And I usually see that I may profit from exploiting someone, but I don't want to be that kind of person. So
right,
I would rather help them, even though it might not be good for me.
exactly. So that's what we all want to be, to not fall for the temptation, you know,
because I see that many, for example, like if you want to sell your product to someone and you see that other people are struggling, and you say that my product is the solution to your problem.
Yeah.
So in that situation, I would rather say that you know, for example, that having good routines or good friends will probably be better than eating a lot of candy, you know, or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good one, actually. That's another, you know, question, and that is this question. You know, let's take another question now, and that is, you know, how to have the good health, right? This is a question I often get.
Well, I think that's strongly linked to having good routines.
Yes. Yeah, and more?
Well, you often know in life when you're doing something wrong, so just kind of sort of try and do the opposite thing of the wrong thing, you know?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
but if you have one end of the puzzle, you sort of automatically kind of see where the other piece is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And also, you can watch other people who are struggling with the same problem as you do, and you can learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, so
see,
yeah,
like,
that's a good one.
This person is not doing it right. So what would I do if I was in their situation, for example? I mean, people do this all the time when they listen to stories or watch movies or stuff.
Exactly.
Like that.
You know, stories and movies, they can help, you know, if they are actually, you know, aiming to help people. One can learn a lot.
Yeah.
It's not that, you know, all is just junk. No, a lot of hard work has been put into some of these stories, simply to teach us how to you know, solve problems. Sometimes it may seem impossible, but usually our experience is when things seem hopeless and impossible, it's because we actually don't talk with anybody. We just sit there with our own mind, you know.
Yes, it's very important when one is struggling to ask for help.
Exactly.
But not everybody wants to help if you don't ask in a kind way, you know.
So I write that as another answer: ask for help, but in a kind way. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you just bluntly say, I have problems and I need help, people might not like that. So it's better to like package it in like a nice way that takes consideration for other people's feelings when you tell what your problems are.
Yes, very good.
Because then they will not run away, you know.
Exactly. That's a good one. Take into consideration other people's feelings. Yeah. That's gold. Yeah.
So, like, sort of in a humble and soft way, you can say it, you can tell the truth, but in a nice way, you know.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Super. So, we have any other questions or any topics, just in general? What do you think of the situation now in the world?
I mean, I think it's a lot of exploitation for money, for exploiting people's suffering.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like making weapons for the wars and just making people who can't afford to buy ad blocking on internet just attack them with ads all the time to get them to buy things they don't need.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well, yeah. I mean, that's one of the things is what you reveal there is that most of the people are spending time on the internet these days. So what will happen, if the internet disappeared?
It's very draining for your energy to spend too much time in front of computers and phones and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just have the question: what to do with the internet? Yeah. So I mean,
okay. Should I answer that?
Yeah. Yeah. Please answer.
Well, you kind of have to learn to use the internet as a tool, and not for the internet to use you as a tool, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. You learn to use the internet as a tool, and not vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in spiritual life, we will say, do things as as a servant, as a servant of Krishna, like a man on a mission. Yeah.
I think most of the problems in the world would be solved if you did it in a loving way, and that can also be a service to God, to be nice to other people.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's kind of hard when they're not nice back, and people often sort of mirror your behavior. So they can only, like in a conversation, if not the other person is talking back, it won't be a long conversation usually. So it's sort of like give and take in interaction with other people. If you so you often get what you give back.
Yeah. So so remember what you get, what you give back. Yeah. I mean, you can use the internet very positively. Say you can write nice comments to other people's work, or you can use it and you can be a sunshine on the internet, no problem. The problem is often that one just ends up being a consumer, right?
Yes.
But it's not really that black always. I mean, I feel it's so easy to complain nowadays, but there is actually a lot of positivity also going on. Isn't it? It's not all bad actually. Like we can say in Hare Krishna movement, it's all over the internet, and a lot of nice things are shared, every day. So that's not bad. I mean, all the people are also sharing, their nice experience, sharing love on the internet, isn't it? It's not really that bad. But what is bad if one gets, addicted into just consuming. It's like, I feel it's like that somebody is making a nice cake. It's nothing bad about that, but if you get addicted to the cake and just eat and eat every day, right?
Yeah, I can definitely resonate with that.
Yeah, so I would write, just don't get addicted and you'll be fine, right?
Yes, but often we have needs that can, for example, if you're lonely, you sort of want to use the internet or your phone or other things,
Exactly.
and social media and stuff like that.
Don't use internet and stuff to fill the hole in your heart, right?
Yeah.
What you call it? What do you call this? There is a kind of a name for that. What's it called? It's kind of phenomena, psychological phenomena, that you want to fill the emptiness inside by some kind of abuse of something, right? Addiction.
I forgot what it's called.
Yeah. I just write, don't use the internet as you know, just to fill you know, the hole in the heart. Yeah.
But of course, the question is really how to make friends and how to have good social skills. And that is to be, often people will be drawn to you if you are relaxed and nice and honest.
Yeah.
And that is usually attractive, but like in a considerate way of other people, so that you just don't feel like your presence is taking up the whole space.
Yeah, that's to be considerate about one's delivery to others. Yeah. Yeah. So Krishna is saying a few things, you know, in the Bhagavatam in the 11th canto. Let's see. I'll just take this up. Just give me a second. There is something about the material nature that, you know, is kind of dragging us into trouble, you know, and that is the material nature itself is you know, is an illusion. Yeah. So I mean, I can give
how
yeah.
does material nature work exactly?
Yeah, I will give you a verse which tells it very clearly. Like that. So let's see, I'll just change this text here. So yad idam manasava char shakshurbyam shravanadevi nashvaram griyamanam cha vidimaya manomayam. So Krishna says that the material universe that you perceive through your mind, through your senses, your speech, your eyes, ears, and other senses, it is an illusory creation that one imagines to be real due to the influence of Maya. So Maya is that energy, which is the material energy. In fact, you should know that all of the objects of the material senses are temporary. So this is a consciousness which can help us. If you have the consciousness that we understand that these objects are not actually everlasting. They're coming and going, sometimes at an incredible speed even. Like internet is a good example. You have some video or whatever, it's just there for a few seconds and then you go to the next one, right? So how much value is it if it's that short span of life on these objects? They're just coming and going, and all the material objects are coming and going. So the real value, the highest value is the soul itself. Whatever we get into our senses are created by the temporary material energy, and thus it is called an illusion, because
we shouldn't worry too much about life here on Earth, but more about how we treat people here, because we can bring ourselves over to the next level, but we can't bring our rewards in this life.
Exactly. The rewards will be a few, but they will come and go. They will come and then they will go again. So in that way, it's not really that tangible. Say there are many people who talked about they got some success in their business or in whatever skill they were doing, like some old star or something, and the person will explain it was so fantastic, but then they kind of looked through the whole thing as just glimmer, glittering things. They understood it's kind of fake, the whole thing. And then after some time they kind of cooled down and understood that all this glory, fame, money and all that stuff is not really it. And then they became all the wiser after a few years when they turned 60. And then they just cooled down and then now they're no longer running after these things, right? So in that way they understood the temporality of the whole thing and that other things are more important actually. Did you get what I was saying?
Yes, you're talking about people who were young, but when they got older, they figure out that all the good things they had in their youth were only temporary.
Yeah, and they were kind of, it's kind of what you kind of learn when you get wiser, is that what we were into before was, okay, we had to go through it, but it's not the end. It's not the all in all. Yeah. There's something that's higher than that. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So here we have Krishna that continues to speak. So he says,
I would stress one important point that one shouldn't live your life like it's just an illusion, and that you should take it seriously, but you shouldn't be so worried all the time about every little thing that can go wrong and stuff. Like, it's more like dare to live your life.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes sense.
Yes, that's the point. Yeah, one shouldn't one shouldn't be sad and think, no, one should take things as they are and then just keep on going. Yeah. Not to get stuck and not also to be despondent on whatever one was going through. It's okay. Like because it's like the point is that one shouldn't put all one's life values in these things which are just going away very quickly.
I have an example to kind of explain. Like, if this was a play or a TV show or something, we all have our roles to play, and we're all kind of stuck here right now, so we just gotta play the role that we're given and then try to make the best of it.
Yes, exactly.
But when it's over, it's we can rest, and have a good time.
Yeah, that's the point. So we do our best. So this is the great performance of life. Yeah, we do our best.
But it can have consequences what we do in this movie or in this play because people are watching.
Yeah. So that's always the thing in Bhagavad Gita also, that Arjuna is afraid. What's going to be? People are watching me. What's going to be the reaction? But Krishna says, just do it for me. So that's called karma yoga. Just think that you're working now for God, for Krishna. So then you just do your best performance. There will always be some faults. Krishna also says to Arjuna, there is no fire without the smoke. So there will be some faults. But he says still you should just do your duty. So this is this kind of duty, thing which is very strong in Bhakti Yoga.
Because personally, I wake up and I wonder sometimes when I'm sad and alone, is any of this real actually? Does any of this really matter? And then I think to myself, well, I'm sort of on the air now, I'm live, so I better try and smile for the camera and do my best act as long as I'm still alive, and then take a break when the show is over.
Yeah, but this is good. This is a good outlook. We should think that we're, on our level of religiosity or spiritual life, we think that we're working for God. We want to do this as an offering to God, our performance. And we smile, even though we may feel even bad. We try to do our best, because everybody knows that moods are contagious. If one is sad, other people also become sad, right? And if you
remember that you can make the show real by acting real. So if you act honestly and with your true intention, that will be a real result from that carries into even the next life.
There are time, place, and circumstances. Sometimes when we're sad, we have to just be ourselves and be sad. Other times we're not required to be ourselves. Actually, we're just supposed to do a job, right? Say, for example, you're going to work in Kiwi. So if you have a bad day, you should still smile to the customer, right? but once you get home, in your family, you can just reveal what you actually feel. You get it? It's like when you're on the job, you should just perform as good as possible. So anyway, Krishna is saying further on here, he says, Pumso yuktasya nanarto brahma saguna dosha bak karma vikarmeti guna dosha dio bida. One whose consciousness is bewildered by illusion perceives many differences in value and meaning among material objects. Thus one engages constantly on the platform of material good and evil, is bound by such conceptions. You see that? One perceives good and evil, and different value, different meaning among the material objects. So Krishna says, absorbed in material duality, such a person contemplates the performance of compulsory duties, non-performance of such duties, and performance of forbidden activities. So one thinks, oh, now I did something forbidden. Oh, now I did a nice job. Or one thinks, oh, I forgot to do it. Yeah. So this is in the material world. So Krishna, in a roundabout way, he's actually saying that in the spiritual world you don't have these things. It's just absolute, and everything is actually fine there. So to have such consciousness, to be anchored in the spiritual world, one will be very peaceful in the midst of all these troubles and dualities here. Does it make sense?
I fell out a bit, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a high consciousness, but these are the sages. They are actually able to keep calm even in the midst of the most disturbing situations. And this is said to be a really wise person who is not swayed, by the ups and downs of material, energy.
For example, if you're in a war, like everybody knows that secretly this is not the best way to solve problems with each other. So everybody can have like this consensus between each other that this is all fucked up and we all have to be here, but we don't really want to be here. and that's often the consensus of life that we.
But then you should see that everything is actually arranged by God. It's a great play of God which takes place. I will give you the next verse, and that will actually, Krishna will actually show this. So just see what he says here. So he says, let's see, Tasmat yuktendriya gramo yukta chitta idam jagat atmanikshava vitatam atmanam mayadishvare. Therefore, bringing all your senses under control, and thus subduing the mind, you should see the entire world as situated within the self, who is expanded everywhere, and you should also see this individual self within me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the God consciousness or Krishna consciousness is to see that this whole world is just situated inside ourself. Because somebody else is perceiving a different world, isn't it? We're perceiving each our different worlds. According to our, mind. We all perceive the world a little bit differently. But this whole thing is again inside God. Yeah?
Yeah, that's some Inception level stuff.
Yeah. And then Krishna is now doubling down on this. So he says, just a second. He says, Jnana Vijnana Samyukta Atma Bhuta Sharirina Atma Anubhava Tushtatma Nantaraya Vihanyase. So then he says, being fully endowed with conclusive knowledge of the Vedas, and having realized the ultimate purpose of such knowledge in practice, you will be able to perceive the pure self, and thus your mind will be satisfied. At that time you will become dear to all living beings, headed by the demigods, and you will never be hampered by any disturbance in life. So this is the stage of sagacity, when one actually becomes fully peaceful inside, because one just understands that all is God. All Krishna is, in charge of all this. We are actually pure in our pure Atma, in our pure soul. And then we will actually be satisfied, even though everything outside ourselves is dissatisfying. And at that time, we will actually become dear to the others. People will appreciate us because we are satisfied ourselves. People actually like that,
I mean, often if you speak to like the soul of a person, instead of trying to just talk to them based on their actions and stuff, like if you believe that if you look at their intention instead of just their resume, you get the whole picture instead of just what's on the surface.
Yes, exactly.
When perceiving and interpreting other people, so you can get their full depth of character.
And then the other side, which is here, which is often overlooked, that is said in this verse, you will become dear to all living beings headed by the demigods. So we have a whole unit of gods which are everywhere, controlling every aspect of life, and they're working under the supreme God, Krishna. And these gods, they will also be favorable to us as long as we have the right outlook and attitude. So that means the whole world will it will be helpful to us. It will not be a drag or a problem. It will not, in other words, existence itself doesn't need to be a problem. It can actually be the solution. When we are aligned with the universe will be aligned with us. Does it make sense?
Yeah, like the laws of the universe.
Yes, the universal laws are strict, but they're also kind. There are tests we are going through, and usually we have tests of faith. Do we actually trust that if we do the good things, that we will be supported? Right?
I mean, often you can't really see the effects of your own good actions always on other people or in the world, but you can often see it. Like if you're hungry, you just go make food. Like if you need something in your house, you just go and pick it up, and then you have met that need. And often your small actions can have domino effects on the rest of the universe.
That's the point. That's the exact point. The small things which we sometimes think, this doesn't matter. You see, we may all have different issues. Actually, all of us, we have something that we can work with. It may be very small. Say, for example, somebody is always saying kind of lies. Not direct lies or very big lies, but kind of lying a little bit here and there. These are, bad habits which makes us unaligned with the universe. These kind of things always have a habit to blow things out of proportion, boasting a little bit, or like to put other people down, like slighting them. These kind of things, may go on, and we're just so used to do it, so we're not even aware. But these things are always keeping us unaligned with the universe and constantly giving us trouble, because everything we do is boomeranging back to ourselves. These are the universal laws, that whatever we do is just reflected back. So if we have a bad life,
as well.
So exactly. So if you have a bad life or are getting into trouble, this is the universe, answer to our actions from the past. It is happening to us to wash us, to clean us. So it takes a lot of humility and insight to actually accept, what the universe is now dealing out to us, and to understand that this is needed for again getting balance in the universe. And then again we're asked, what direction am I going to go to do? Am I again going to do as I always used to do? It said, an intelligent person, an unintelligent person is the person who just keeps on doing the same thing again and again, expecting a different result. You heard that one? That's the definition of
Einstein?
What?
Was it Einstein that said it?
Yeah, maybe you said it. Yeah, I don't know who said it. Okay, so it was Einstein. That's good.
I think I don't know if it was Einstein. I think they just wrote a quote that said, "Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of madness." And then
Exactly.
they wrote quote Einstein.
Yeah,
I don't think he actually said that.
There's a lot of people who quoted Einstein for wise sayings, which he didn't actually say. I believe that. Yeah. So so the point is, a real wise person, he will value criticism to himself. If somebody criticizes him or her, if we are criticized, we should take this as very interesting information, because this is the key for us to actually solve the problem of our whole existence. If we can understand why are we criticized, that means something is lacking in us. We are doing something wrong, right? In that way, we can actually move forward in life. If we never accept any criticism to ourselves, we will just be stuck, because we're just going in the same loop as we always did, right?
Yes, but I mean, every time something bad happens to you, you shouldn't look at it as you're being punished for something. Sometimes bad things just happen.
Yeah, that's also very true. Well said. I appreciate this. That's also said in the scriptures.
It can be interpreted like that when you say it the way you did. So I'm just mentioning it.
Yeah, but thanks. Yeah, because it is very easy to look at it like that. Then one can go in another pitfall, and that is to feel that one is always stuck in this loop of being punished, which is also not true, because nature itself is always dishing out trouble to everybody. Yeah, so this is also called superstition, that I said this, so now it started raining and thundering, because I said something wrong. This is also some kind of madness, to think that everything is happening because of something I did, right? It's not also like that. It's true. But just to have a keen intelligence, to see how to move forward, that's always helpful. Yeah. And then later one can come to a transcendental stage. That's after one has understood verses like we gave here, which will make one ultimately very peaceful.
But can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
When you're looking for like a sign from the universe, usually synchronicities that, like, if you're thinking about something and that thing just appears the same day, I mean, that's not usually a coincidence.
No, I agree. It's not a coincidence. So this is also good. But there is a state when one gets too much into it, and then it becomes like a psychosis.
Yeah.
There are balances to everything. That's just what I'm trying to say.
Yep, definitely.
So anyhow, I think we'll round off. Do you have some concluding words or something?
No, I don't.
Okay, so we will we'll just conclude with our Hare Krishna mantra. So chant this mantra and align yourself with the universe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we're gonna have some other streaming soon. I mean, maybe in a couple of days this week. I'll try to do that. Yeah, it will be something about mysteries of the Mahabharata. We'll just pick a topic and go into that. So I'll call you again then.
Cool.
Yeah. So everybody feel free also to come with some suggestions, what kind of topics we should discuss. That's always very welcome. Okay?
Yeah. Can we keep on talking for a bit, or?
Yeah. We just end the stream. So. Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.